Let's do it.
Sure, let's play.
Okay, so yes, we have been accumulating more good cards that are perhaps making other factions more reasonable for us to use, but we did most recently pick up the Siri card with 15 strength. So adding that to Northern Realms is certainly something that I'm keen on doing. So let's try this out here. See how we fare with our latest edition. We go first. Okay, and you guys are saying that having a deck with the siege nerf in it is questionable when we are so siege oriented with our Gwent setup. And fair. You know, I for the most part have been trying to have at least one of each of the nerfs, so that way, if we do find that our opponent has a bunch of that type of card, then we can be able to remove that or nerf that row. But more often than not, we are the one scaling siege, not our opponent. So yeah, we may see that it is worthwhile still to take that one out and throw something else in instead, because it's one of those things that almost every time we draw that card, I look to swap it out for something else. But anyways, that's all on the side here. What do we have for this hand here? We have a range nerf, which could be alright, depending on how many range cards we have. Are we going to be nerfing ourselves, nerfing our opponents? We'll have to see. Siege Expert, depending on how many siege units we have. We might want to keep it, we might want to get rid of it. We'll have to see. Dandelion doubles the melee row, which can be good if we have enough melee units. Dijkstra is a spy, so good to have him, but that means that Dandelion is not going to be doubling him. Would be doubling the Blue Stripes Commando, who is our weakest unit unless we can get two of them go up here, and of course at the moment looks like we only have one. So for that reason, you're another one that's high on our list to get rid of. Then you are another one that we ideally would want multiple of. At least you're a 5 strength unit rather than a 4 strength unit, so you're a little bit better than the Blue Stripes Commando. Then we don't have a lot in the siege row. We have all of our heroes, so that's nice, but it means that it's hard to double things. So things like Dandelion not providing a lot of value to us, Siege Expert not doing much for us. So it's really our spy and our heroes. That's about it. Trebuchet would get doubled by our leader ability, but we would prefer to have many more siege units than that. So I think what we do here is that almost certainly the Siege Expert is not going to have enough range units to be much use to us. And this is much better. So glad with that exchange. Then do we want to have Dandelion doubling Blue Stripes Commando, or do we want to swap out the Blue Stripes Commando for someone else? Without the Blue Stripes Commando, Dandelion is almost useless. He is just a 2 strength card and nothing else, and that is doing almost nothing. Could possibly end up drawing into more melee units if we were to play Dijkstra here, but that's speculative. So I think Dandelion, you are probably next one to go here. And with that Dandelion swap, who did we get? We got another siege unit, so that's fine. That's fine. Okay, because then we are doubling our siege unit with our leader ability, of course, so we want to be prioritizing our siege row. So I think what we do here is we want to play our medics in a later round, not round 1 here. So that means we probably are not going to try to win round 1, or at least we're going to play things a little bit low-key in round 1. So I think we lead off with the spy, see what we get, the cards that we draw here. And we get another siege unit, that's good, and we got the Siege Expert. Now that we have more siege units, that does mean that it is more effective. He did steal our spy with a decoy, so not terribly fond of that. And, what do we go for here? So, I don't really want to commit too hard at the moment. However, we can have some confidence in that with 2 medics in our hand right now, we will have the ability to bring back 2 cards from our graveyard. So it does mean that even if we were to play something like our Catapult here, which is our strongest non-hero card, if it were to get Scorched immediately, we could still bring it back with the Dunbanner Medic or with Yennefer. So I think for that reason, I usually am reluctant to play our strong cards first, but I think this is one of the exceptions. Let's see what they do. They could Scorch. They will play the card that they just stole from us. How dare you? How dare you? So, this is an interesting one. We have a 12-point lead at the moment. So I am thinking we probably... I would say we would consider passing here, because presumably our opponent cannot beat us with just one card. They'll have to play more than that, and therefore that means that if we were to pass right now, we would have card advantage going into the next round, which would be nice. But we have 2 medics, so we can bring back 2 cards from our graveyard. Well, we could have Siggy be one of them. That's certainly not a bad idea, being able to replay a spy. So, tell you what, yeah, I think we pass here. Our opponent may just accept the loss, or they may proceed to play more cards if they think they can efficiently beat us here. No, they can't. So we will draw another card, because we are Northern Realms. When we win a round, we draw another card. That's great. We got Clear Skies, which removes weather effects. I mean, if you were to use a weather effect that really hurt us, then perhaps that would be useful. But, wondering here, because we won round 1, do we try to go all in round 2 and take it right now? Or do we hold out a little bit, see if we can gain a little bit more of an advantage? Because, of course, at the moment, it's 11 cards to 11 cards. And see if we can have a higher probability of winning if we were to go for round 3 instead. I think that, at the very least, let's start by playing you. And we will use you in your medic ability to bring back Dijkstra. Dijkstra is a spy, so we'll play the spy on the opposing side, draw more cards in the process, and then even if you do go down, we can use Yennefer to bring you back. If, say, our opponent were to immediately use a some ability to get rid of you. We do Dijkstra here, draw 2 more cards, and now our card advantage does grow. Okay, Ghoul is weak, but it does have Muster, so it will summon more cards from your deck/hand. They are all weak as well, though. Just 1 strength apiece is not really much of a problem here. So, you know what? I'm feeling like we go for this one here. I think we go for this. So, in that case, that means, I think, let's play Yennefer last. Yennefer will be our safety net. If we find that things are not looking good and we think that our opponent can still beat us in this round, we play Yennefer, or at least save Yennefer, and then in round 3 we have, of course, her and 7 strength to go along with it, and then she can bring back something from our graveyard. And maybe that would be our medic, and then our medic brings someone else back from the graveyard, and we have a little bit of a chain reaction there. So let's go with... Oh, we did draw another of the Blue Stripes Commandos, so we have that pair. That's nice. Okay, let's play both of them this time here, because I don't think our opponent is going to want to use a melee nerf when they have multiple melee cards here. Okay, we do have a range nerf. And what does our range row look like ourselves? We have 1 range card. So if we were to save this for round 3 as well, we could play the range nerf this round, nerf you, and then we would, of course, benefit from it. So it just means that we have to commit to not throwing absolutely everything in this round, and we were talking about doing a little bit of that, saving a bit for round 3, but that might mean saving a little bit more. Okay, now it does perhaps make sense for our opponent to use Scorch if they have it. They're going with Leshen, which is also a range card, but it is a hero, so that one will not get nerfed. It is strong, of course, but we also have our share of heroes, including Ciri at 15 strength, so that's big. I'm thinking, though, this could very well be the round in which we play all of our siege cards and double the siege row. So, in that case, let's see. Trying to just be at least a little bit mindful of the Scorch, because this was a bold maneuver. This was probably a misplay. If our opponent does have a Scorch, then they do it. They remove both of these cards here, and that hurts us quite a bit. So, I mean, nothing we play here is going to change that. So I think we just go for this Siege Expert here. We should have just waited to play the second one. Didn't immediately play Scorch, which perhaps means that they don't have one. Fingers crossed. Then we just play some of these guys here. I mean, it does mean that these guys will continue to be our highest strength cards. Okay, now you are nerfing melee row. I mean, sure. Would have been nice. I think we had more power in the melee row than they did. That's probably why they ultimately ended up doing it. But you had your fair share as well, so it's not the end of the world for you to nerf that. Does mean that those 1 strength tools are, well, not nerfed at all. So in that respect, at least it's not hurting them at all. But yeah, let's keep on playing in the Siege Row. That does mean that now our Siege Row would be the thing that gets Scorched, if you are to use Scorch ability. You have Triss? What? What, if anything special, does Triss do? She only has 7 strength? She's a hero. I mean, that's low for a hero. Most of our heroes have 10 strength, and she can't get affected by anything in terms of other special cards or abilities, so yes, in the melee row, that does mean she's not getting nerfed, so on this occasion, it is beneficial. But most of the time, that means that she's just weaker than many other cards, so that's an odd one. I do wonder if we are to win this match here. Maybe Triss is the unique card would get. Could be the case. Either way, I mean, we could, of course, counter the melee nerf with our range nerf, but I think we're pouring all the siege units out here right now, which means a Scorch would be absolutely devastating. Please don't Scorch us. Okay, you will muster more units that will also get nerfed, and you are down to 3 cards, so even if you did have a siege nerf, we could certainly use a clear weather to undo it, and at that rate, I think we are in the clear. So let's play just basically everything we have remaining here that is not a Yennefer or a Reaver's Dragon Hunter. Keep on playing all the stuff in melee row. I mean, maybe at the time that you played the melee nerf, we had a little bit more strength in melee row than you did, but you probably should have looked at your hand and seen that every other card you were going to play was going to be a melee card, and you were going to nerf all those things. So yeah, that is one thing to bear in mind, is if we were to use a clear weather, if, say, our opponent were to use a siege nerf, we might decide it's not even worth it, because that would, of course, remove the melee nerf, which is perhaps working in our favor rather than our opponent's, despite the fact that our opponent was the one that, of course, played that card. Now, I'm thinking, though, we play Ciri, and we have enough heroes here and stronger value heroes than our opponent has, that even if they have a Scorch here, don't think it's going to do much. So that's perhaps one of the reasons why they wanted to play all those melee cards, is it seems as though they basically have the melee version of our leader ability, where they have a Commander's Horn in their melee row. But, well, hate to break it to you, we have one of those for the Siege row. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer, do that there, and let's go with the range nerf now. At the moment, does not hurt us at all. It does hurt our opponent a little bit. Mostly just biding time to see, oh, okay. Apparently they were going to do the same thing. So they have 1 more card remaining. I think, regardless of what card that is, we can still win here. So let's, yes, commit to our leader ability. We have, of course, already played all of our siege units here. And that last card is also Impenetrable Fog. Okay, so, sorry, but it's not going to work terribly well for you. So it does mean that we could, say, proceed to just play Yennefer. She's not going to be affected by the nerf. You can bring back Catapult. Oh, you can't bring back the medic. Oh, no, we played the medic this round. Yeah, we were talking about maybe in round 3 using Yennefer to bring back this medic here, but she never made it to our graveyard because we played her in this round. Then, I mean, we could play you. We'll get nerfed down to a 1, but sure, why not? As we can. And with that, we're at 111 to 36, and I guess we'll keep the clear weather here, because it is at least lowering their melee row here. It is, of course, lowering our number a bit as well, so if we wanted to maximize our score, then we would play it here. Sure, for that reason, let's do it. I'm pretty sure we'll still end up winning. Does mean they go up quite a bit, so that was perhaps a little bit more of a risk than I might have realized, but in the end, we did still get the job done.
You win. Card's yours.
So I'm guessing this is Triss. Okay, and I think that was the last of the innkeepers we were supposed to face here. No, it was not Triss, unless this is another card in addition to that. 25 experience as well. Okay, let's see. So, it looked like it was a Nilfgaardian card. It was this guy. Oh, we saw someone else play this card, yes. So it is a hero, 10 strength hero, so better than Triss. Goes in the range row, okay. I mean, it would Probably be a card we want to use in our Nilfgaardian deck, so yes, strong pickup for sure. Okay, nice. Now, as for how we get out of here, sidestep that guy there. Is this a door? Are you blocking the door right now? Maybe that isn't a door. This is the door. Okay. So, remind me. We were gonna do Witcher contract, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Which one? Lord of the Wood? Pretty sure this was it. So we just head over here. And there wasn't a perfect fast travel location, but we'll go to, say, the lighthouse. Shouldn't be too much of a walk. And this, we don't really know what type of enemy we're going up against here, do we? Let's double check. We know what to expect. A certain halfling named Ran Hotch had hung a notice stating he was in need of a professional monster slayer. Geralt decided to see what was the matter. So, like I said, previously we were exploring this area and we happened across the campsite where I think we saw the signs of this monster. And so we did not get the chance to actually speak to the person in advance, so we'll not actually get a chance to speak to him because, well, that's just the way the Witcher contracts work here. We will head over here and we don't really know what to expect. So, definitely, well, there's... I think those are neckers that I'm hearing over there. Sword stuck in the ground?
There was a fight here. 2 dwarves and something big.
Okay. Here to be more descriptive. Oh! Those look like big claw marks? I'm thinking some kind of Arrakis, maybe? Okay. Oh, more stuff here?
Wounded dwarf tried to flee, bleeding heavily.
Okay, big claw mark here.
Clawed the rock. Must have been angry and strong.
The number of claw marks there does it doesn't look like an Arrakis. I changed my assumption. Something else. Oh, there's red here, yes. Are we just supposed to follow this red, or can we actually examine it? Over here. Oh, there's a dwarf. One of them.
Deep wound on his back. Bled to death. Everything says Leshen.
Oh.
The young one. Must have arrived here recently. Need to find its totem. Crows serve Leshens. Should find some near the totem.
Okay. Oh, think we found something. Willing to bet that's probably it. So we have, of course, fought at least a couple of Leshens, I believe. What level were they? I think the first one we fought was level 20. This one, in theory, is 26. Oh, what? There's 2 different directions which we can go. Oh. Okay. Use your Witcher senses to follow the sounds and find the Leshen's totem. So, I don't know. Oh, there are actually many more of those locations. Theoretically, this one to the south might be the closest. I mean, don't really know. It is right here. They're crows. Crows work for the Leshens. They're affiliated with the Leshens.
Not Leshen's birds. False trail.
Okay. Gotcha. So most of these are going to be false alarms, and one of them will be the real deal. Gotcha. Yeah, so Leshens, the answer is Igni, because they are sort of made of wood. Those are just the neckers, I think. We can double check what we know about Leshens. That's probably worth doing. I think they are they Elementa? What category are they? No, they're not. First? Not an insectoid. Don't think they're a necrophage. Don't think they're an ogroid. Relic? Ah, they're a relic. It must be a relic. Oh, except it's probably this guy here. Fernan? Novigrad, the greatest metropolis in the world, the acme of civilization, material proof, or so one is tempted to think, of mankind's ability to tame and control nature. Yet right outside the city walls lies the Novigrad wilderness, and whoever sets foot in it soon finds that man's primacy does not extend past the city walls. One of the monsters who made its lair in that thick tangle was an old, powerful Leshen. Thought Geralt said it was young. It killed any who strayed into its territory with its species' characteristic cruelty, lacerating them with razor-sharp claws, sending strangling plants shooting out of the ground, or feeding them to packs of hungry wolves. If not for its vulnerability to fire, the Igni sign included, and the protection of the Quen sign, one could wager not even the toughest Witcher would be able to slay this beast. Okay, so yes, definitely Igni, and then I think we've found that Leshens are another one of those relatively big, slow, but hard-hitting opponents, so Quen does work well against them, generally speaking. And then, other than that, of course, it is a relic, so relic oil would probably be best, as well as Dimeridium. Okay. So, in theory, it could be right here. Oh, right here?
Ordinary ravens, looks like. No sign of a totem.
Okay. Here? This big tree? I'm thinking this is it. That looks like a totem to me. I think there's something on the wall there. Or by wall, I mean tree.
Lo and behold, a Leshen's totem. Now, to destroy it, ought to piss it off, make it leave its lair.
Okay. Fair enough. I suppose that's one way to do it. Shall we perhaps apply things like our potions in advance? That's probably not a bad idea, so we're just saying it's relict. Let's find that. Beast. Elementa. Vampire. Curse. Draconid. Uh-oh. Might be one of our weaker ones. But still enhanced. Okay, good. What are our weakest ones? Hybrid. And Ogroid. Okay. We'll use this. And I think we still have Dimeridium as our throwable over here. Yep, we do. Okay. Releases a cloud of Dimeridium slivers that block magic and monsters' magic abilities. Blockade survives for a short time after the cloud dissipates. Okay, it only lasts for 30 seconds, so it's not like it's permanent. That's good to know. So after we do it, we're going to want to follow up quickly. I'm assuming that we, do that, and then it gets very mad at us? Probably. I mean, they are really cool opponents, for sure. Hello? How are you? Here to come out? Come out and play? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, you're a big one. Oh, yeah, you were not that close to us previously. You kind of teleported there, it seemed. Clever party trick. I'll give you that. Yeah, oh yeah, you can absolutely teleport. That's kind of one of your things. Okay, so, let's try doing this, like, immediately. And also, perhaps, some of this. Please don't teleport. That's inconvenient. Where'd you end up? Right next to us? Maybe? Oh, this is gonna hurt us a lot. Probably, if we didn't have our Quen on, but we did, fortunately. Cannot do Quen right now, which is also unfortunate. Now? Where'd you end up? Over here? Okay, please don't do that. I'd like to I want to Igni you, but it seems as though we are not allowed to do that sometimes. Oh, you are about to, yes, teleport right next to us. Saw that one coming. Yeah, we are not dealing much damage to you, which is concerning me. I mean, yes, it's some. You are certainly a much higher level than us, so that has something to do with it. Yes, where do you end up? I don't see you, which is concerning. I know you're going to do this. It does seem to be your modus operandi. And then you teleported right as I was about to hit you. How dare you? You hurt us if we predict where you're going to teleport? Is that a thing? I think it's mostly you teleport away, and then you use your ability that creates the roots in the ground. Yeah, the criticals are good, of course. Did that get you? I don't think it did. Probably ran out of Quen here. There you are. you are perhaps summoning your wolf friends, because I think that is a thing. Something is there? A little bit. There you are. Whatever you're doing, I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing much. So, on one hand, I feel like I should say, no, do it. On the other hand, I feel like, well, it doesn't seem terribly effective at the moment, so sure, keep at it. Oh, what? Who's the birds hitting us? Whoa, there's your wolf friend. I thought we might see some of them. I'd like the Quen back, please. Yeah, this gets a little more complicated now. Because I don't like trying to fight all of you simultaneously. Are you unkillable, perhaps, until we take out your wolf friends? I'm getting the sense that is what the new colors around you means. Maybe? Or maybe we do this. Please stop. Oh, that's just weird. But now we can hit you. Oh, and you've brought more friends. Quen. Quen is the one I'm looking for. Please switch to Quen. Thank you. Yes, more wolves, sure. But where you? You are the one that I actually want. Please stop doing all this. There we go. Oh, you're still alive. There's still you as well. That miss. Stop that. Okay. So, Big Bad Lesson down. Yeah, I do like them a lot. They are so cool. And, oh, I suppose we could still see what is at the other location where we thought there might have been the Lesson Totem, but probably just another false alarm, right? Okay, here's the one we care about, though. Powdered monster tissue, Lesson resin, Lesson mutagen, black unicorn. We hope that this is a high-level weapon, because of course it is relic rarity. And then the trophy as well. Okay, that should be it. Just need to go back to collect our reward. Okay, so as for best way to do that, yeah, logger sod or maybe even windmill over here would be best. Okay, let's use Roach here, I think. Wherever she went. Here you are. Thank you. And let's head on out. And I think usually we find that we automatically switch to our latest trophy. Whoa! So we might want to double check what the Lesson trophy is doing for us. Just to verify if it's something we do or do not want. Let's do that real quick before we forget. So it's this one here, and yes, we did automatically switch to it. Bonus experience for monsters. I think we might have been using a trophy that was doing that same thing before, so that's fine.
Whoa!
Fine with that. Fast travel location's actually over here. Except, hold on. More honeycomb? Doesn't seem like a blue bowl. Do we need to burn these? Does that do it? Don't think so? I don't think so. I think we just burned the beehive for the sake of burning the beehive. Probably shouldn't do that. Okay. So now, let's head back. Except since we never spoke to the person who gave us this, there. That's where they are. Of course, I knew that. Okay. Oh, hello? Nice to meet you. Put away this sword, perhaps. Kind of looks almost like Roach for a second.
We can
And
go in here, or my place.
You are the person in question.
Welcome, Master Witcher.
Yeah, the job that we never discussed. It's done.
Hear about the notice, the Witcher contract?
Ah, yes, I did post one.
I killed the Leshen that attacked the lumberjacks.
Oh, that's wonderful. Grand even. I'll have to find some new loggers, but there's no shortage of folk looking for work.
Yeah, you know, just
But
don't
can
tell
I
them what
be
happened to the
certain
previous loggers.
No other lesson will show.
It's possible, I
Yeah.
suppose. Have to find a witcher if it happens.
Aye, yes, yes. Well, your due reward. I'm not the kind not to pay for a job well done.
Farewell.
Okay, so what did it end up being in terms of experience and coins? 250 experience, 195 crowns. It's okay. It's not as much, I think, as we had on our previous Witcher contract, so all right. No. Theoretically, there is room back there, but can't actually go there. Okay. So, let us head out here. And next on our list would be another one of those Witcher contracts, or going and doing the Dumpling Quest. I think we have this year, the Beast of Honorton. How did we feel in terms of the difficulty of that level 25 Witcher contract? It seemed like our damage was not fantastic. Of course, we could use perhaps repairing some of our weapons there. We were saying earlier that we were going against some weaker enemies for a little while. It seemed like we probably could get away with it, but now that we're pushing the limits a little bit more, might be more necessary for us to do that. Just seemed like, what with us fighting some high-level enemies, it seemed as though maybe we had a reasonable chance of them dropping some decent weapons for us. That has not been the case thus far, so that would be reason to, if they were to drop higher-level weapons, we could theoretically say, well, don't repair weapons that you're about to replace, because our current weapons, what level are they relative to our current level? Like, are we probably going to get something that is an upgrade soon? This requires level 18. That's not that much lower than our current level. Same with our silver sword. Okay, so I guess for that reason I'm not too averse to repairing them a bit here. I mean, I don't... yes, they're pretty beat up. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we are capable of still taking people out here, even with the damaged weapons, so it does seem as if basically all Witcher contracts are against monsters, so silver swords, silver weapons are going to be more relevant than steel ones, so maybe we prioritize doing this here. And that brought it up a bit, up to 51%. How much does it repair? For repair thingamabob over here, is it 40%? In which case that'd bring us up basically to full if we were to do one more. It's 40%? Yeah. Why don't we do that then? At least for this one here. And if we find ourselves up against some tricky human enemies, then we probably repair our steel weapon then. Like if we are to go with the of swords and dumplings, then maybe that's a good time to repair this. So, let us see what the deal is with this one here. Beast of Honorton. Talk to the Alderman of Honorton about his contract for Witcher. Okay. That is somewhere in Velen. Actually, go to the fast travel location first, because it is right here. Don't think we were at it. We were just standing right next to it. I could have been standing there. I don't know. So it's... Oh. Was this not the area that once upon a time had question mark enemies? I thought this was the first time we ever saw enemies with that next to them. And then we went there and we did ultimately get killed. I thought it was some Alguls. Because we went to Claywitch. We started at Claywitch. We knew there was something at the boatmaker's hut, and then we saw there were these buildings in between. We were like, oh, well, let's just check it out. We don't know there's a city by name here, or a town by name here, but surely there's got to be something, right? And then we went there, we're like, what does question mark mean? And then we got decimated. So that makes me a little more hesitant. I mean, of course, it does say this is supposed to be level 24 quest, so I don't know. But guess we'll try. So Claywitch is, of course, safe, and we can take this as an opportunity to enhance both our armor and our weapons. That should give us a little bit of a boost, more so than what we had against the Leshen recently. So maybe for that reason, although they're both level 25 enemies, this one will be a little bit more straightforward. Do we... Hold on. We only got the weapon there? Didn't also get the armor? What? What? Excuse me? That. Oh, they're both... What? They're both whetstones? Meanies? I wanted to upgrade my armor as well. What good's 2 whetstones? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay. Either way, we'll head over. And let us see what we run into here. Because, yeah, I'm a little concerned that this is going to be painful. So let's save. Like I said, I thought we saw some question mark Alguls. And I'm guessing...
Necrophages. Great.
Yep. These are them. So... what does that tell us? East of Honorton killed the necrophages. Inhabitants of Honorton had a problem. One only a Witcher could resolve. The monster they unhelpfully called a spook was haunting the woods near the village. Geralt decided to see what kind of beast it really was, and then kill it. Kill the necrophages. It says it's level 25. Is that true? Or are we about to get demolished? Oh, you are level 25. And 24. What gives? Okay, Axie is the way to go against these guys, theoretically. At least for the ones that we've hurt. We'll hit with the Axie side. Please get over here. And you are necrophages, so we should try to turn on the necrophage oil. Did hit the one that we did not Axie there for a second. But if we... Ooh, that hit us. If we could throw on a necrophage oil now, that would be great. One moment, please. Here it is. Let us also just, like, quickly... Ow. Did you buy that one as well? I could have sworn these guys basically one-shots before. Maybe when we were much lower level. That was still... Ah, stop that! Got rid of... We could heal as well. Got rid of our Quen by doing that as well. Okay, we are apparently backed up against the wall. I did not realize. Oh, we don't have the staminas to Axie right now. You guys are big. I'll give you that. The other Algul could leave us alone. That'd be lovely. We can play baseball with this one. Okay. Now it's just one of them. And yeah, nope, this one. One to Axie you, please. Okay. And likewise, big swings. That should do the trick. Okay, so is that it, or is there more?
Not a living soul in sight. Something evil's been here. Necrophage has appeared after.
Yeah. Where the cat and wolf play. New quest. Interesting. Okay. But the contract is updated. Okay, we'll take this stuff besides the rotting flesh. I'll do bone marrow. Sure. We did find with the Byways murder something similar where there were some relatively high-level ghouls around the area, but in terms of Witcher contracts, it does seem as though it's always some kind of boss, and if there are other enemies there, then they're just a prelude to a big fight. So I'm expecting something like that this time. I do see, of course, the red bodies there, but I'm just trying to loot the Alguls first, because I thought there's one more. But maybe we've already taken care of that? Okay, in which case, now, let's investigate further. And actually, let's see what that new quest was. And maybe what it says the current state is of that Witcher contract as well. So... Oh. And this is another Gwent one, is it not? And that was in the Passive Flora, so that might be another thing that's worth doing soon. It's also a good fit level-wise. And man, even the DLC, it's saying level 32 as well. I mean, that is probably still too high for us. If we have any indication based on us exploring the upper and easternmost areas of this area here. So, for the Cat and Wolf play, explore the village near... Or using your Witcher senses. Geralt would often state that every Witcher contract is the same. When you notice, find who posted it, argue over the reward, seek out witnesses, etc. ad nauseum. I, however, always held that beneath these superficial similarities lay an ocean of difference. For example, Geralt would sometimes discover that his employers had brought the beast upon themselves, while other times he'd learn killing the monster in question was but a part of someone's larger, usually nefarious, scheme. And once in Honorton... now that was another contract altogether. Okay. Does say multiple locations. That could potentially be Velen and Novigrad, in which case we might not need to go far, but that does most of the time mean that we're talking a much more distant location, so might not be able to wrap this one up here. But I do also just want to go back to the Witcher contract. Oh, okay. I guess it's done. It's not here anymore. Okay, so yeah, we just investigate.
Cuts. Shallow, but each hit an artery.
Alright. That suggests some kind of intelligent beast
Blade
attacking?
pierced internal organs.
Blade, you say? It's still red, even though we examined it. Okay, there we go.
Great.
Whoa, hello! Did not see you there. You startled me. Does mean that perhaps... Oh, that is not the sign we wanted. Does mean that perhaps there's more of these Alghouls yet to come out. May not be done just yet.
Bolt snapped in half.
Geralt is down here examining all this stuff. Meanwhile, Alghoul's like, oh, just in time to strike, and I hear another one. Those are just the wolves over there. Okay. Like, yes, you've activated my trap card.